Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. As I'm sure you've gleaned, today's tale is of the current media mayhem. And for once, it's not Hollywood proper that's providing the elevated level of chaos. No. Today, we tread in the realm of billionaires and bozos. Yep, the clowns, of course, the ones that masquerade as journalists, are nothing more than brainwashed ideologues that spread their plague in written form to uphold an activism that they don't actually understand. As it turns out now, all of that was for naught, as we've been telling them for quite some time. You can, and will, be digitally replaced. So once again, I'm here to guide you through the proper ponces of urinal, breaking down the unraveling fake news media business as it, crumbles to the ground. And, spoiler alert, it's a story of lost billions, tens of billions, layoffs, complete collapse, and the ominous rise of artificial intelligence. It's not quite the monkey we thought could replace these dregs, but it's close enough. Here we go! So, before we get started today, a quick word of thanks for your comments, likes, and your subscriptions. We're headed to that 20K mark, can't believe it, fantastic, and I'm looking for a big push from you, because I always need your help. And I'm hoping we can get there by the end of February. So again, thank you. And if you find yourself unsubscribed all of a sudden, please do hit that button down below. And with that out of the way, let's kick off things properly with the not so shocking revelation that a certain journalist known for doxing and ideological battles is now shedding crocodile tears over the media layoffs. Of course, I'm talking about the other Taylor. Oh, sweet irony here. She wails about the importance of journalists conveniently ignoring the very misinformation and doxing that she's actually accused of. Like the many walls she's already hit in her lifetime of privilege, the Great Wall of Self-Awareness seems to be fast approaching, and her abbreviated stop will probably be pretty epic. And setting aside the wonder of wine, this goes far beyond her malicious efforts, of course. The beginning of the end actually started long ago, when journalism was initially infested with activism, and no longer was about finding truth. Even when it conflicted with people's worldview, real journalists, would go out and seek the truth and report it. But things really started to fall apart when the wealthiest global elites decided that they wanted to control information, all of the information. Remember when billionaires swooped in to save struggling media outlets like Jeff Bezos with the Washington Post or Chris Hughes with the New Republic, and there's many examples of others. And if you couldn't buy something, you just built it yourself. I mean, they founded their own outlets with sometimes their husband's money, and better men like Andrew Breitbart actually helped build things. And when you fast forward to today, it's a graveyard of broken dreams. The major outlets across this country face the ultimate hardship, similar to the ones that they forced the smaller outlets into long ago. You see, you have layoffs and shutdowns and fortunes lost, and it turns out that the bottomless pockets couldn't stitch up the wounds of a declining industry. There were oceans of wealth and treasure sacrificed to control what people heard, and yet they could plainly see were just self-serving lies. Of course, as if billionaires weren't enough of a problem, enter the silent disruptor, artificial intelligence. The menace machination of their own making, in fact. Of course, unbeknownst to them, they were actually feeding their replacement with their very own lifeblood. The large language model of lies were their own words, and a realization to them that arrived far too late was the industry now finds itself resting in a bed of those lies, discredited and mocked by the meme itself, adjusted here for the algorithm, of course, which is merely learned to program. Now, the aging media landscape, still stuck in the past, is facing an existential threat from AI. Sports Illustrated recently learned that the hard way, with AI posing as real journalists, causing a meltdown and eventually leading to its very own demise. It's not just a rise of the machines, it's a fall of the media. This was introduced to BuzzFeed far too late, and it was introduced to AP far too early. AI is the replacement that they were actually warned about, but they just didn't listen. So now, the media sector is drowning in a sea of layoffs. You have Time magazine, the Los Angeles Times, Business Insider, and many, many more. These are names that were etched in journalistic history, such as it was and such as it's become. They're shedding jobs faster than you can say breaking news, and private equity firms, once the saviors, are now cost-cutting, leaving newsrooms in complete turmoil. They've seen this film before, you see, and much like the bubbles of the past that they created, this one is, well, fast deflating. The media, it seems, is in a state of free fall, one that was predicted and one that has come to pass. So while media giants grapple with layoffs, the tech sector licks its own wounds, but a shadow lurks in the background: generative AI. The looming threat of AI-generated content is a double-edged sword. It has a promising efficiency, but it has a lot of inaccuracy, and it will create the functional obsolescence for human journalists. At least that's what they think. So the New York Times actually has a lawsuit against Microsoft and OpenAI, which kind of serves as a harbinger for the storm to come. The fevered pitch of deals in all media to combat its spread is miles far from peak. The digital tide is rising, and traditional media is caught in the undertow. The strongest swimmers right now are just fighting to catch a hold of a rising new media. The truth-wielding citizen journalists that are out there, driven to pursue the real story and report it as it happens. The ones calling out the lies in video and podcast form. The only problem is, as the 108-year-old Taylor Lorenz describes it, is no one will watch them because no one can believe them. Or, she didn't say it, but she's probably thinking it. In the end, the media mayhem we are now observing has led to this profound moment. The lying mainstream landscape is shifting, and the old guard is struggling to keep its footing. Billionaire globalists, once seen as the media messiahs, now exit the stage with wounded, decimated, or thoroughly destroyed publications. Layoffs echo through newsrooms, and the AI technocracy is only going to grow. The media, an industry built on words, finds itself at a loss for the right ones right now. And at a time when fresh creative scripts are needed and is, well, basically the key to their own survival, only questions remain. Will it adapt? Can they adapt? Could it evolve? Or is this, at long last, a rotting product of a now begone era? A relic that will be dwelt upon in the far distant future. Good questions all, I think. So let me know your thoughts and the answers down in the comments section below. Are you going to mourn the passing of mainstream media? I certainly will. As always, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, and until next time, see ya.